Oh, I'm so sad. Why? I'm not even attached to these characters yet, but this shit's so sad. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel where today we will be checking out Frieren Beyond Journey's End episode 1. We are starting this brand new series because it performed so well in the poll that I had running for a couple of weeks not long ago. In that poll, ReZero ended up coming out on top, so I've been doing ReZero episode reactions. But Frieren had the most total amount of votes. More people voted for Frieren than for any other series, and Frieren ended up coming in second place. So I felt it would be very fitting to check out Frieren, considering it is technically the popular vote. It's the vote that received the most total votes. I did a point system. If you want to know more information, you can check out the video in the description where I announced the winner. And yeah, I'm really excited to check this out because Frieren Beyond Journey's End, obviously a huge series, very new series. It began in 2023 and it is already the #1 highest rated anime on my anime list. That is no small feat, and it's the fact that it's been able to stay at #1 for as long as it has, when other series that have sometimes taken the top spot get overtaken by Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood again within like a week or two. But Frieren has stayed the test of time. It is on top. It shows no sign of leaving the top, and that is absolutely insane. I need to know why. I need to see the series. I need to get invested. I know that I'm gonna love this. I hope that you guys will too. So I checked out openings and endings for the series. I think actually just one ending. I don't know if there are two endings or just the one, but I've seen both openings and one ending, and the ending made me cry, whereas the openings kind of clued me into what may be happening in the series. So my theories, you can go check out the videos where I check out the openings and endings. I'll also try to link those in the description, and I'll probably have them at the end of this video as well on the screen. But real quick, my theories as to the series itself is that Frieren, being an elf, she has outlived her former party members. That's what it looked like in the openings anyway. And she's now kind of like going through life without them, going through life with probably someone that she loved. There was one guy in particular that she was always longing for. She was always looking towards. And I don't know if there were more than just feelings of friendship there between the two. But really what I think happened is that they became heroes because there were statues of them, there were murals of them, of her and her party, and they became legends. And then sadly, because she was an elf, she was the only one that ended up living beyond, you know, a normal kind of age for humans and stuff, and the rest of her party members are no longer with us. And yeah, I think that's kind of where things are right now. She seems to have found new people, younger people that she is working with, traveling with, training perhaps, and that seems to be giving her some sort of joy and some sort of purpose for life. And I think that the name of the series, Beyond Journey's End, kind of also plays into that theory that I have, but I'm sure that will probably be answered as to whether or not that's true when I check out this first episode. And not the first episode, you know, I'll probably understand what I'm actually seeing, what the series might be about, and perhaps it'll answer some of the questions that I had during the openings and ending that I saw. So I'm not gonna yap for much longer, you know, professional yapper here, but we're gonna just check out the first episode. I'm really excited. So here we go. What does Frieren episode 1 have in store for us? There's only one way to find out. Let's go. Alright, just real quick, if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I will get episode 2 of Frieren out hopefully next Friday. I am trying to do a Frieren Friday type of thing. I know the Frieren Fridays were a thing while it was airing, and I think it would be fun to kind of follow that and release my episode reactions on Fridays. So episode 2 hopefully coming next Friday, and then 3 the following Friday, blah blah blah. You know, you get the picture. So here we go, episode 1. I'm really excited to see where we go with this one. That shot is so good right there. It's so good. The transition between past and present, so good. At the northernmost end of the continent, I arrived at the place that the people of this world called Heaven, Oriole, the land where souls rest. Many souls gather here, and I spoke with friends who once fought alongside me. Flam, the legendary mage. Or is it Flame? I don't know how that would be pronounced. Flam or Flame. She's reading a book.
Frieren.
Frieren. That's the guy! That's the dwarf!
私たち勇者一行の凱旋です。
盛り上がっているでしょうね。
帰ったら仕事探さないとな。
We'll have to look for work.
もうそんなこと考えているんだ。
大事なことさ。魔王を倒したからといって。
They defeated the Demon King. Oh shit.
この先の人生の方が長いんだ。
Damn, we're starting at the end. Literally beyond Journey's End.
フリーレン、君のこの先の人生は僕たちには想像もできないほど長いものになるんだろうね。
Yeah.
そうかもね。
I like the effect that it has in the like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a textured look. The heroes. Scenes like these remind me of Berserk. I know Berserk wasn't the first to do something like this, but you know, Himmel the hero. Frieren. You're welcome. Hopefully. Holy shit. That was crazy. Those fireworks? Holy shit. Damn, even the way those kids are moving, like, looks so good. Statue, like I said. So true.
現金なもんだ。旅立ちの時はどうか10枚しかくれなかったくせに。
Forget about the past. Forget about the past. Worry about the present. The way everyone in the background was moving in those scenes was so good.
僕たちの冒険はこれで終わりだ。
10年ですか。
10 years? Holy
いろいろ
shit.
なことがありましたね。
Oh god.
下手したらあそこで冒険終わってたよね。
ハイターが二日酔いで役に立たなかったこともあったな。
Too hungover. The priest?
その点私は優秀。
ミミックに食われかけた時は
The mimic.
罠だって言ったのにマジか。
That's funny. Oh, I love this, like, recalling their
クソみ
adventures.
たいな思い出しかないな。でも楽しかったよ。
Aw,
僕は君たちと冒険ができてよかった。
it's very sweet.
そうですね。
短い間だったけどね。
短い？何を言ってるんだ？ 10年だぞ。ハイターを見ろ。すっかりおっさんになってしまったぞ。
失礼ですよ。
See, she's thinking, like, she's gonna live longer. That's
そろそろか。
what she's thinking, I imagine. It's nearly time? For what?
エーラ流星でしたっけ。
Ah, that's really
50
cool.
年に一度の流星群。平和な時代の幕開けにはちょうどいいな。
Wow, that's adorable.
綺麗だな。
街中だと見えにくいね。
人が感動しているんだ。空気を読み込め。
じゃあ次。
ん
50年後、もっと綺麗に見える場所知ってるから案内するよ。何？
いや、なんでもない。
He knows he won't live another 50 years? Is that it?
みんなで見よ
That's really sad now that I think about it. That's actually really, really sad. She's going to go there in 50 years and see them. And yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's really, really sad.
じゃあ私はここで。
う。これからどうするつもりだ？
魔法の収集を続けるよ。100年くらいは中央諸国を巡る予定だから。
Oh shit.
まあ、たまには顔を見せる
Once in
よ。
a while. Aw.
エルフの感覚はわかりませんね。
まったく、いつから生きているんだ。
50年も100年も彼女にとっては些細なものなのかもしれ
But
ませ
to
んね。
us, that's an entire lifetime. Yeah, like it's something you never really think about. Like, you know, elves' relationships with non-elves, what that must be like in terms of like outliving them and everything. Wow, that's a beautiful shot. Oh. Oh. The music. Nobody to save you this time. The music is ethereal. It is really great. Wow, look at that shot there too. Every shot, holy shit.
うちでは取り扱ってないよ。
そういえば魔王城で拾ったやつヒンメルに預けたままだっけ。
なんか邪悪なオーラみたいなの出てるけど人体2回はないよね。
わかんない
わかんないか。
もうすぐエーラ流星の時期だし
They're
つい
gonna
で
be
に取りに
dead.
行くか。
Oh, that's so sad. She doesn't even realize or
前
know.
来た時とだいぶ街並みが違うの。
フリーレン
ヒンメル
He's still alive.
老いぼれてる。
言い方ひどくない？
Aww.
50年ぶりだね。君は昔の姿のままだ。もう一生会えないのかと思っていたよ。片時も忘れたことはないよ。ずっとタンスから邪悪なオーラが出てたからね。
なんかごめん
The stinky closet.
適当に納屋にでも放り込んでおいてくれてよかったのに。
Then it could have been robbed. That is
君にとっ
huge.
ては軽い気持ちで預けたものかもしれないけど、僕にとっては大切な仲間から預かった大事なものなんだ。いつか君にこうして返すべきものだったんだ。
I'm like feeling really emotional and like nothing sad has really happened yet. Aww. The statue. That's a really well done statue. But the green around it to show that it's, you know, oxidized as well, to show the passage of time.
ハゲなんだからこだわったって意味ないよ。
ハゲなりのこだわりがあるの。
Oh, look at them. They're all together again.
ずいぶん貫禄が出たね、ハイター。
That's so sweet.
生徒の司教ですから。あなたは全然変わりませんね。
Aw.
頭なアイゼンはあまり変わっていないね。
そうか、そう見えるか。
だからここから1週間く
The
らい
end
歩
of
い
an
て
era. A week's walk.
そんなに遠いのか。
They're old now. They're not used to a week's
報告
walk.
しようって。
You couldn't get them like a horse or carriage or something?
懐かしいよ。こうしているとあの時に戻ったかのようだ。
I don't know why I'm feeling like I'm about to start crying.
旅したね。何もかもが新鮮で、き
The
らめいて見え
music,
た。
the storytelling, the way it's being done is just so good. Oh. uh Oh, I'm so sad. Why? I'm not even attached to these characters yet, but this shit's so sad. Oh. Oh, nee.
ヒンメルは幸せだったと思いますよ。
そうなのかな。
あの子ヒンメル様の仲間なんだって。悲しい顔一つしないなんて白状だね。
That's not true.
おやおや、私たちもしていませんよ。
司教は真面目にやれ、この白状者。
って言いたいですな。
The way people process loss is different.
だって私この人のこと何も知らないし、たった10年一緒に
A
旅し
mere
ただけ
10
だし。
years. Oh, she's crying.
人間の寿命は短いって分かっていたのに、なんでもっと知ろうと思わなかったんだろう。
That's so sad.
頭撫でんなよ。
二人とも顔をよく見せて。
Could be the
これ
last
で最
time.
後になるでしょうからね。
So sad.
どこか悪いの？
長年の酒がたたりましてね。天罰だな。生徒によることがあったら私の墓に酒でも備えてください。
ハイターは死ぬのが怖くないの？
私たちは世界を救った勇者パーティーですよ。死後は天国で贅沢三昧に決まっています。そのために私はあなた方と共に戦ったのです。
生臭坊主。
それではお先に。
私はもっと人間を知ろうと思う。
そうか。
それで一つ相談なんだけど、私魔法職だからさ、強力な前衛がいると助かるんだよね。
勘弁してくれ。もう斧を触れるような年じゃないんだ。
じゃあまたね、アイゼン。
あ、また。
I don't know why this is just getting such a profound, like, emotional response from me. It's just really making me feel everything that the characters are feeling. The OST absolutely incredible as well, let me just add. Oh, that was a hard watch, but an incredible watch. 20 years after the death of Himalaya Hero on the outskirts of the holy city of Stral in the central lands. And there's the girl that we saw in the openings. She looks a lot younger though.
いや、ハイターって人の家を探しているんだけど。
では、お客様でございますね。
Yeah.
まだ生きてたんだ、生臭坊
She's
主。
just a baby. He's alive.
死ぬのも難しいのですな。
墓に備える酒買ってきちゃったけど、一杯やる？
酒はもうやめたんです。
そう。
That's funny.
今
To
更
offer to
いい
your
子ぶっ
grave.
たって。
ありがとうございます。
Aw, she's so cute.
あの子は
フェルンと言います。
Fern.
南側諸国の繊細孤児でした。
進んで人助けするような。
You don't know him, that's the
ヒンメ
point.
ルじゃあるまいし。生徒への買い出しのついでだよ。旅先で会う人とはなるべく関わるようにしているからね。それにハイターにはたくさん借りがあるから、死なれる前に返しに来た。
Speaking so freely of death too is just very sad.
弟子を取りませんか？フェルンには魔法使いとしての素質があります。あなたの旅に連れて行ってくれませんか？
But you
足手
will.
まといなのか友人から預かった子を七に送るつもりはないよ。
But that's why I trust her with you. Is, you know?
賢者エービヒの墓所から出土したものです。
Ewig
この魔導
Siege.
書には今は失われた死者の蘇生や
絵を使った暗号でしょ。この時代の人はこういうのが好きだね。まあ、5、6年もあれば。
5 or 6 years is not bad at all.
前より死ぬのが怖くなったから。まあ不死とは言わずほんの少しでいいから時間が欲しくなったのです。それに晴天には健やかに生きようがあります。
Healthy lives.
長寿はその最たるものですよ、フリーレン。
生臭坊主。
Wow, look at the size of that staff. It's huge compared to her.
探すのが
She's a
大変だったよ。
baby.
存在感が薄いとハイター様からもよく言われます。
Look at the size of that thing.
やっぱり魔力探知にほとんど引っかからない。卓越した魔力の操作技術だ。
ハイター様にあの一番岩を打ち抜けば一人前
That
になれる
rock
と言われました。
specifically.
へえ、ハイターも分かってんじゃん。あれはね。
Damn, just
この
short.
ように魔力が離散してしまい、
魔法は好き。
Do you like
ほど
magic?
ほどでございます。
私と同じだ。
I was gonna say, then you'll do good, kid. This episode had a lot to talk about. Oh my goodness. So first of all, even now just thinking about it, I feel myself going again. I'm gonna start crying, but yeah, that whole opening section. Okay, here I go. It was so beautiful, but also so sad. Like, it is so honestly, I don't know, like the words are just not coming to me right now, but the fact that a series like this was able to get that kind of response out of me within the first like 10-15 minutes, that is honestly levels of character building. Like, it takes some series years to get a response like that out of me or anyone, but the fact that this did it in 10 minutes, maybe not even, is honestly like a huge credit to the team that created and produced the series. I know the manga creator, and I know that the team at, I think it was Madhouse who produced the series. Let me just recheck that, double check that. Yes, this was Madhouse. The fact that it was Madhouse and the fact that it was the manga artist who created and produced such an incredible, beautiful work here. It's just so phenomenal. And let me just real quick look up who did the OST, because that OST was killing me. The OST, even, oh my god, I can't. I'm a mess. I am a mess. So I could be wrong here, but I just did a search for it and it's telling me that Evan Call did the OST for Frieren. And I believe I did see his name in the opening credits as well. So, you know, I'm assuming that's what that was telling me in that. But, you know, I couldn't read the Japanese. I didn't know what it was telling me he did on the series. But I think this is my first time hearing anything that Evan Call has done. Oh my god, like the OST in this is so moving, so ethereal, so fitting, so perfect. Everything, every emotion, every feeling that it wanted me to feel was amplified and boosted tenfold by the OST here. It really just emphasized what I was seeing, and that's the perfect sign of an OST, when the OST doesn't try to outshine or outdo the series itself, when it just emphasizes what you're seeing and emphasizes those feelings and everything like that. And the fact that this OST mixed with what I was seeing was getting such a really strong emotional response out of me is honestly like something I was not prepared for. I was not prepared to sit down for an episode of Frieren, episode number 1 no doubt, and start bawling my eyes out. I really just thought this was going to be a nice fun little introductory episode, like most series kind of tend to be, or not most, but some anyway. I was expecting that, with maybe something at the end of the episode to kind of leave off in a cliffhanger. I was kind of expecting that, but this episode, like the story of the fact that it begins with the end, beyond Journey's End, and that's kind of like what they're talking about in the carriage. They're like, what are we going to do when we get back? I'm going to get a job. I'm going to do this. I'm a priest, so I'll go do this. And then Frieren's like, it was just 10 years. Like, it's no big deal. And they're all kind of like, 10 years a lot. But they don't say that to her because they know she's an elf, and they know that her life and what she experiences and everything she goes through is different from them. And I think that this series has done a great job of expressing that already. The fact that different beings, different creatures, different races, different lives being lived in this series are being shown, and the way that they go through their lives, the way that they experience different emotions, different feelings. Frieren realizing these things all at once during Himmel's funeral, during his burial, was just really overwhelmingly sad. But it's also like this really special moment because she, in that moment, almost realizes the mortality of different beings. And in that moment, it's humans. She knows, as she says, that humans live much shorter lives than elves. But she never once thought to get to learn more about humans, get to learn more about the people that she cared about. She cared about Himmel, and that's what this showed us. Within this episode, we didn't really see too much of them together, but I'm sure as the series goes on, we'll see flashbacks where the two of them have a lot of scenes together, because the two of them did seem to have this really special bond and relationship, but it almost seemed like they respected one another and they valued spending time with each other, but they didn't realize it until it was too late. Himmel has some really, really poignant scenes in this episode, and poignant quotes, I guess, almost like dialogue, I guess. I don't know the best way to word that, but, you know, things that he says, you know, like he's talking about, this is the end of our adventure, and I'm glad I got to spend the time with you. and, you know, talking about work, talking about, you know, the journey that they were on, and then talking about how the meteor shower marks the perfect start of a new era of peace. And then the scene where Frieren's like, I'll take you to somewhere where you can see a better view in 50 years. And Himmel starts laughing. Frieren doesn't understand why, because like I said, she has lived a completely different life. 50 years to her is nothing, whereas 50 years to Himmel, that's his whole life. And I don't know if he's laughing because she doesn't realize it, or because of the absurdity that she's making a trivial comment like that without realizing, or what it is. But really, it's very beautiful, the scene then when they're like, we'll go see it together. And then when she leaves, she's like, I'm going to travel and I'll be back in I don't know how long, but you know, yeah, it's honestly such a beautiful series. Like, I don't really have the words to describe this. I'm sure that others have worded much more beautifully than I ever could the absolute beauty of this series and the joy that it brings, and like how special it is. And you know, this is only one episode, but already I am so like emotionally attached. I'm literally emotionally attached. I've already shed several tears for this series. The scene where Frieren shows up and Himmel is old and it takes her by surprise. It was both shocking as a viewer, but shocking to see her respond in such a way, because it's the first time we've actually kind of seen some emotion from her within the series alone. We saw that she was kind of like shocked, and prior to that we'd only seen her with a kind of straight-faced, calm, straight demeanor and expression on her face. The scenes where it's showing her though when she's traveling for the, what is it, like 50, almost 50 years, collecting spells, collecting items, everything like that. The way that it was showing animation and different locations, locales, and the way it was showing her was absolutely stunning. The work that Madhouse has done is incredible. For a first episode, this was so beautiful, and you can see every single frame. There's not a single frame that looks wonky. There's not a single frame that looks weird or strange. Everything is so finely polished, and you can feel the love and passion coming from the team that produced this anime series, and it shows so well. The OST, like I've been harping on about, amazing. The voice acting, incredible. Such a great cast of voice actors here. And let me just add as well then, the scenes that we see as she's traveling, she sees Himmel and they have like their little moments together and stuff, and he talks about how could I store something somewhere else that was entrusted to me by a dear friend. That is such a powerful scene, because we see them just kind of disperse as though it was nothing, and it's really shocking to think that they spent this whole 10 years together, an entire decade, and then they just kind of dispersed and never saw each other again until 50 years later. That is very shocking to me. I'm sure this sort of thing would have happened all the time. Like, this is kind of like a D&D adventure as well, you know? I think that some of the scenes as well with comedy were done very well as well. The comedy in this series is executed perfectly alongside all these other moments of seriousness and sadness and everything else. There are sprinkled moments of comedy and they're executed masterfully. So the series really does have everything. When she sees the oxidation on the statue as well, it really just sinks in that this has been a very long time. You know, it doesn't take just 5 years. Well, maybe it does just take 5 years. I'm not really, you know, well versed in that, but oxidation doesn't just happen like that. And it's probably her first time seeing the statue in general. Like, it was going to be built before she left, and now that it's built, her first time seeing it is with the oxidation. And you know, it's her first time she sees the party members as she remembers them. But I feel like that statue representing how she remembers them and the oxidation is pretty almost like literal of how she remembers them, with like the memory she has being tarred over by this other thing. Like, it's been rusted over. It's the memory she has, they're long gone, they're in the past, and she's like looking towards, you know, the future. Whereas beyond that moment, beyond that scene when they go to the star shower, and it's a really beautiful scene. It made me really just cry and bawl my eyes out seeing them at the star shower and seeing them travel one more time, and the OST that accompanied it, and the way that everything was presented, the smiles, the dialogue that they were sharing with one another. Like, I'm glad we were able to do this, I'm glad we were able to spend one more adventure together. And then for Himmel, as the beautiful moment is happening, to say, I'm glad I was able to have this moment with all of you together once more before the end. And we all know immediately what he's referring to. He knows his time is drawing near, and he knows he doesn't have long left on this planet. But it also kind of harks back to that moment earlier in the first episode when he's like, don't speak over me right now, don't ruin this beautiful moment for me. It kind of like is important for this scene right here, where he is experiencing the star shower and sharing those thoughts with everyone because nobody interrupts him. And yeah, it's truly poignant. I know I've said poignant like a million times now, but then we see him, he's passed away, and people questioning her being heartless. Like, why is she not crying? Why is she not sad? Why has she not felt anything? And then we see her start to bawl her eyes out. Why did I not get to know him? Why did I not get to know someone I cared about this much? Why do I wait until he's dead? Why do I wait that long? And so death is really at the forefront of this episode. Death seems to be at the forefront of this series, and the trivialization, I guess, of death from someone like Frieren. Not that Frieren is trivializing it, but Frieren outlives all of these other people, all these other creatures, races, everything like that. And so she doesn't really think about anything like this. She just lives her life. She lives the life that she's been given. And she doesn't stop to think about others and how short lives they live. And it's so special, the fact that we're getting to join her on this journey of discovery of everything like that. She has this moment with the dwarf. I can't remember the dwarf's name, but she questions whether he will join her, and she says that he says that he's old now, he can't do that, but he thanks her and he wishes her well. And then that's when she travels off. Then 20 more years have passed, so 70 years since their adventure. I don't know what race the priest is, if he's human, because if he's human, he's probably close to 100 years old at this point. And she goes to visit him because he asked that at some point after he dies, she could visit his grave and pour a drink out for him. And so she goes to honor that 20 years later in the Holy Land, and runs into Fern, runs into the priest who is still alive, and the priest asks her to train Fern, but at first she refuses, and then he asks if she could transcribe a book, a tome for him, and so that he could live a longer life, because he's scared of dying. And that's very valid. He saw that with his former travel companion Himmel. He knows the sadness, he knows everything attached to that. He probably, for selfish reasons, wants to live on, but also like that fear of death. And it's very important that that is presented in this first episode, because Frieren is someone who very clearly does not fear that, because it's so far away for her. It's something that she can't even fathom coming close to her time on Earth. And I don't know if it's called Earth in the series, but you know, it's very at the forefront of this. And so to have someone fearing that, it very much mirrors and contradicts the complete opposite feelings of what Frieren is feeling. And so she then agrees to do so and to train Fern in the process. And she sees Fern blast off this huge ass spell. She's obviously great at magic already. She's well trained, but we don't know anything about her past. We don't know anything about her other than that she's an orphan of the war from the south, and that she will be traveling with Frieren then, probably, and Frieren will take 5 to 6 years to analyze and translate this tome. And I don't know where the series is going to go from here, but this was a truly special first episode. It made me feel so many different things, and I cannot praise every aspect of the series enough. If there's anything I forgot to talk about, please mention down below and I'll share my thoughts and feelings on that specifically. And yeah, what a special episode. This, I can already see why this is the highest rated series on all of my anime list, but obviously we've got another 20 something episodes to go. So that was our first Frieren Friday on the channel. We will have more to come for sure, and I'm very excited to see where we go from here. Thank you so much everyone for stopping by. Thank you so much for checking this out. Thank you for sharing your love and enthusiasm for the series and for voting for this in the poll that we had. And yeah, I hope that you're having a great day. I hope that you're able to take it easy, and I hope that I will see you in the next one. Take care.